Hi guys, I'm Michelle Peterson. I am a fourth grade teacher on a military base. I just wanted to remind everyone of that as you think about my takeaways that I'm taking, just because I liked them based on the age level that I'm teaching. I don't have many slides. I think it's very important that you listen more than reading what's on the slide. So you'll just see a very few slides, but you'll hear a lot of what I learned in assignment 2. There's my slide switches here. Just a second. There we go. Technology, my synthesis, I guess, is technology can be used in a variety of ways. And everything that I've done so far in my grad work has just reiterated that fact. Our group focused on how you can use them in the library. One of our colleagues did the teacher webpage, how important it is to use technology across subject areas, as well as incorporating social media into the classroom or your work environment, depending on what you were doing. Also, one of the biggest things was technology is hard. It is hard for the teacher to become super familiar with it and implementing it in the classroom regularly. And it's also hard for the students to learn. Depending on what they're learning and the amount that we're throwing at them, it's very important that the teacher's comfortable with it in order for your students to feel comfortable with it. So while technology is very hard, it's also, in my opinion, very, very important to be using in the classroom. And just as another assignment that I did, it needs to be powerful, it needs to be integrated, and it needs to be very purposeful. So it's one of those things where you're going to have to jump in right away and just keep going and not giving up, because if you give up, nobody's really benefiting from it in the end. Some of my biggest takeaways from our peers that posted in my group were one of our friends posted about a resource called CRAP. It was an acronym, but basically it tied into my topic very well, and about how it's a good way to remind my students about how to post. You need to be relevant. There needs to be accuracy, all of those things before you're even thinking about posting. It was, to me, very clever and eye-catching, and I think my students would buy into it very quickly. My students, they also need to know that anything on the internet will be easily able to be found, and I think we need to start in fourth grade. We need to start teaching them at a young age that eventually all of these things are going to come back on them, and that it's always going to be there, and what they're posting now could affect them later in life. So I thought this resource was phenomenal, and I really want to use it when I teach my digital citizenship lesson. Another big takeaway was the teacher webpage. It's so important for our parents to have access to what we're doing, and we have a website that we have, like, it has our contact information and stuff, but I feel like it'd be really important to have my own. So after reading one of our friend's papers, I thought it would be awesome for myself to create one. She listed a lot of important steps and how easy it can be. A couple things I thought I would put on my webpage were like our class newsletters. I know in fourth grade, half the time, some of our papers are not getting home. So I think it would be nice to have that uploaded, so then that way, if they're like, oh, what's the upcoming events, it can just be posted, as well as all of our contact email, and it can be full of resources that we use in our classroom, all the websites that we use, and all of those things can all be posted, and all of our kids have like general login information, so that can also be posted, because sometimes the kids lose that. I think assignment 2 overall was really, really awesome for us to be able to dive in and learn about something we really were passionate about incorporating in our class. So these were just a few of the things that I really, really liked. I can't wait to hear everybody else's.